Welcome to Brief Briefing Cryptocurrency News. It is likely that at the end of this month or 3 months from today, Cardano will launch smart contracts initializing the Alonzo phase of the protocol. I then must get into what it means for the nation of Africa. When you are shopping around for your nation's infrastructure as far as cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies, make sure that you are selecting something that will not colonize you, as would Cardano since it collects metadata. What is metadata?
NSA speaks of its work in neutral and non-threatening language, using terms like collection, telephony metadata. What does that mean? We asked former FBI undercover agent Mike German.
I mean, you would normally think in the terms of the Fourth Amendment that any time the government is collecting information about you, gathering it, putting it in a government database, that would be collection. But often the way the authorities that govern government surveillance are interpreted, sometimes the acquisition of information versus the collection of information are two different things, and they're only considering it collected once a human being has actually put eyes on it and processed the information.
In May 2014, former NSA Director Michael Hayden shocked a Washington audience when he said that the NSA uses metadata to kill people, a reference to NSA providing intelligence to military units using drones to assassinate people the Pentagon and the White House consider enemies. Hayden quickly backtracked, saying, "We don't do that in the U.S."
Correct. Okay. We kill people based on metadata.
Support independent media so we do not get crushed by the mainstream media with subscriptions, likes, or BAT token. Earn BAT when you click on ads on Brave browser, and it also protects your privacy. Quick note, DuckDuckGo does not sell your information. George Orwell, or known by his real name, Eric Arthur Blair, during his lifetime, I believe, helped colonize India, likely felt bad, and wrote his novels like 1984, where if you read it, you can see what it is that they would like to accomplish as far as the ruling class of this planet. Later in his life, he would begin to have a sense of guilt, which led him to these publications and likely creating organizations that helped spread democracy, since he noticed that people such as Hitler and such were taking advantage of white supremacy and going further than just colonizing other people.
And we can see that it prints the entire transaction in JSON format onto the command line. Okay, so the only other thing I wanted to show was how you can post metadata from the command line. Now I've created another script here, which is post metadata, which includes my password, so I'm not going to show that. This here is...
So as you can see, Cardano collects a lot of metadata. Metadata can be used to literally come up with a map of what you're going to do in the future. Cardano is basically a cryptocurrency that is meant to be used as a colonization tool. I know Ethiopia and South Africa are thinking, wow, this is great. I can use this to exterminate that other tribe. But at the end of the day, whether you're exterminating another traditional African tribe or exterminating the Afrikaans who are descendants of the colonialists, who you should really consider not exterminating, because you are actually destroying your own nation. You should work together as a team, which is what Mandela wanted. Aside from that, you're playing into their hands. You're thinning out the grass, and then the big boys are gonna come in to clear it out. This might be 1,000 years from now or 3,000 years from now, but you always want to think ahead and avoid getting colonized by any means necessary. That is why it is important to do due diligence and look into these projects.
To visit American troops in Britain. In August 1943, she would accomplish a similar mission in the Pacific.
She went to one base where German prisoners of war were allowed to watch the movies sitting down in the auditorium, but black troops were standing up. And she protested so that Eisenhower changed some of those policies.
Freeing the Jewish people and then using them as a tool of colonization was only a byproduct. The United States fought against the Germans in order to maintain their position as the most powerful nation on earth. So, when you're dealing with these corporations, remember that they might hold some negative things, mannerisms, ways of thinking. Consider them drives inside their brain that makes them operate in the way that might lead to your colonization and systematic extermination.
Hey, let's take her for a test drive here. Who am I?
You're Charles.
She knows who I am.
Do you know who was the human Cardano?
I understand that Cardano was the first mathematician to systematically use negative numbers. What are the implications of this?
Well, you exist. That's one part.
Grace, do you have any questions for Charles?
May I ask you a personal question? Ben tells me you have a pet giraffe. How did you choose such a pet? Is that working out well for you?
Well, Grace, it was a gift. The president of South Africa gave it to me, and it's working out just fine. Unfortunately, the giraffe is a bit of a playboy and has many giraffe children, and he's a deadbeat dad.
So it is evident that in that short interaction, he does hold some biases when he talks about the giraffe being a deadbeat dad and such. That is something that is referred to in the way that wealthier people refer to more impoverished people in the United States that lack opportunity. And it just so happens that those impoverished people usually are minorities.
Have found humans across the globe are becoming increasingly less fertile as toxic chemicals continue to build up in our environment and accumulate in our bodies. Research shows the worldwide fertility rate dropped by nearly 60% between 1960 and 2018, and sperm counts have been dropping at nearly the same rate. If this trend continues, some epidemiologists predict that sperm counts could reach zero by the year 2045.
So you see, people of the world are being attacked on multiple fronts. Now, minorities will likely not have the knowledge that these plastic byproducts are in the environment and will reduce their population by force. So it is very interesting. That is why you should try to avoid technologies that track the populations. You should use cryptocurrencies that are more discreet, that protect you, that don't give information about you to anyone. Privacy coins. I will not tell you what kind of privacy coins to use. There are a lot out there if you really want to use cryptocurrencies for your banking structure and anything else within the country's infrastructure. You can build apps and verify them. We think Charles Hoskinson is a great guy, but there's a thing about hackers. There's a rule that you don't enslave people, you don't let your technology kill people. It's great that he got a giraffe from one of the prominent people in South Africa, but don't use his technology. It uses a lot of metadata, and they're also using they're going to use it for artificial intelligence, which can be used to it's not infrastructure. You want more privacy oriented coins. Anyways, as always, I hope that this is informative. Have a good one. Support independent media with subscriptions, likes, or BAT token. Earn BAT when you click on ads on Brave browser. Have a good one.